Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Myself Swastika Das.
Hello everyone, myself Ankita Ghosh. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Today I stand before you to speak in favor of a topic that often carries a negative connotation, that is peer pressure. However, I argue that peer pressure can be a powerful and positive force in our life. Peer pressure, when channeled correctly, motivates us to challenge ourselves, step out of our comfort zones, and pursue goals we might not have considered ourselves. Rather than viewing peer pressure as a purely negative force, we should recognize its potential to inspire, uplift, and drive positive change in both our professional and personal lives. Throughout my speech, I will demonstrate how peer pressure, when harnessed correctly, can be a vital tool for personal growth and collective progress.
As I am talking about the negative effects and the harmful effects of peer pressure, so I would like to mention 2 points to prove my statement true. So, loss of autonomy. Individuals may feel conformed to their peers' beliefs or behavior, suppressing their own values and judgment. Example, a person doesn't want to drink alcohol may feel pressurized to do so by their peers, leading to uncomfortable or dangerous situations. Secondly, unhealthy relationships. Peer pressure can lead to toxic friendship or toxic relationships with their peers. These examples also illustrate that a person stay in a abuse relationships due to pressure from their peers. So these examples also can describe that how peer pressure can have serious negative consequences for individuals, emphasizing the importance of promoting individuality, self-awarenesses, and healthy relationships.
Okay, so you said that peer pressure is negative because someone might force another person to indulge into bad habits like smoking and drinking, like our friends can suggest to do these things. So I want to read a quote by Shakespeare in his play Julius Caesar, Act 1, Scene 2. Men are sometimes masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars but in ourselves that we are underling. So basically, this quote suggests that people have control over their own destines, over their own fates, and blaming external factors are somewhat of an excuse. Like in this quote, it is said that the fault is not in our stars, right? So that is kind of an excuse because, see, if our friends are suggesting to indulge into smoking or drinking, right? But at the end of the day, the choice to act upon those suggestions is ourselves, right? Until and unless we give the consent, nobody can force us to do something, right? So even if our friends are suggesting that to do smoking or drinking, it's we who are actually giving the consent, right? Don't you think that completely avoiding this peer pressure can lead to self isolation and missed opportunities in our lives?
So you have cross-questioned me that avoiding peer pressure can lead to self-isolation. Well, it's true that completely avoiding peer pressure can potentially lead to self-isolation. I would argue in that point because self-isolation is not always negative. Taking time for yourself, engaging in solo activities, and prioritizing your personal interest can be beneficial for your mental health and for the self discovery of yourself. Also, peer pressure can be toxic, means most of the time it leads to a toxic result. In many cases, peer pressure can lead to unhealthy behaviors, conformity, and loss of autonomy. Avoiding such pressure can be a positive step towards maintaining individuality and well-being. Alternative social connections exist here. Instead of relying on peer groups, individuals can cultivate relationships with family members and the person of their minded and like-minded individuals who share similar values and interests like them. Also, personal growth through self reflection, like avoiding peer pressure, can prompt individuals to explore their own interests and goals, leading to a more authentic and fulfilling life. Also, healthy relationships and with the respect of the boundaries, if we see it like true friends and peers will respect an individual's decision is set to boundaries or pursue solo interest rather than pressurizing them to conformity. Like there is a quote, to be yourself. So if we are taking time for ourselves and do the things which we actually want to do, that this will definitely increase our experiences and also give us a mental peace with happiness. So I hope you have got your answer. So now I will ask my question, that is supporting peer pressure in its positive impact is really leads to a fruitful result. What do you think?
Okay, so you have asked me that is supporting peer pressure in its positive impact does really leads to a fruitful result. So I would like to answer that. A study has been conducted by NIH News in Health. According to it, it says that do birds of a feather really flock together? The science says yes, it does. People do tend to choose friends who are similar to them. You also become more like your friends over time. The research has shown that even just having another peer around can change the reward response in the brain and also the risk taking tendency of teenagers. So basically, the study has proven that the risk of committing suicide among the teenagers have decreased because of the peer pressure. Also, a study conducted in 2001, the influence of peer pressure on adolescent smoking. The study published in the Journal of Adolescent Health found that peer pressure can actually discourage smoking among teens. The Another study in 2015, the effects of peer pressure on pro-social behavior. Study published in the Journal of Youth and Adolescence found that peer pressure can encourage pro-social behaviors like volunteering and donating to charity. Peer pressure and academic achievement. A study was conducted on this in 2018. Research published in the Journal of Educational Psychology found that peer pressure can positively impact academic motivation and achievement. So, in return, I would like to ask you that isn't it true that peer pressure can provide a sense of belonging and social support, which are very essential for our emotional well being?
So you have cross-questioned me that isn't it true that peer pressure can provide a sense of belonging and social support, which are essential for our emotional well-being. Well, for that I have to say that it is true that peer pressure can provide a sense of belonging and social support toward us, but we have to recognize it that which one is the important one and which is not important for us. There are certain types of circumstances which I had to tell now, and it will prove your point wrong. They are like unhealthy conformity. Peer pressure can lead to conforming to unhealthy behaviors or values, compromising individual well-being, loss of autonomy, excessive emphasis on social support from peers can erode personal autonomy and decision making. Also, superficial connections. Peer pressure can foster superficial relationships rather than meaningful, genuine connection towards us. Also, exclusion and bullying. Peer pressure can lead to exclusion and bullying of those who don't conform. Also, there is another point, that is stifling and individuality. Like overemphasizing social support from peers can stifle individuality and creativity of yours. So, unrealistic expectations also make an happens. Like peer pressure can create unrealistic expectation and promote consumerism. So now I would like to ask my question, that is, can peer pressure leads to a loss of personal autonomy and individuality? I think it is so. What do you think?
Okay, so you have asked me that peer pressure leads to loss of individuality. Well, earlier I've also stated that how the outcome of the peer pressure solely depends upon ourselves. How we react to that peer pressure in that particular situation completely is in our hand. Nobody can force us to do something until and unless we give that consent. If someone is pressurizing ourselves to do something which might change our whole identity or individuality rather, then we are also acting on it, which is resulting into change our individuality, right? If we don't do those things, then it won't lead to change in the individuality. Okay, so at the end, I would like to conclude that peer pressure, getting the right balance between being yourself and fitting into the environment, it can help you to reflect your own actions and the way you amend yourselves. So, when you observe others to work hard and achieve their goals, it can motivate you to do the same and take a step forward and be a better version of yourself.
So, in conclusion, the debate has demonstrated that peer pressure is indeed harmful to individuals. While some may argue that peer pressure can provide a sense of belonging and social support, the negative consequences are far outweighed and potential benefits. So, peer pressure leads to a loss of autonomy, individuality, and creativity. As individuals are forced to conform to societal norms and expectation, it perpetuates unrealistic expectations, promotes consumerism, and encourage risky behaviors. Moreover, peer pressure can lead to exclusion, bullying, and a negative impact on mental health and well-being. The pressure to conform can also stifle critical thinking and independent decision making, leading to a lack of personal growth and development. Furthermore, the constant need for validation and approval from others can create a sense of insecurity and low self esteem. In addition, peer pressure can have long lasting effects, shaping an individuals' values, beliefs, and behaviors, or the ways that may got not align with their true self. It can lead a life of pretense where individuals prioritize fitting in over being genuine and authentic. In conclusion, the harmful effects of peer pressure on individuals are undeniable and uncountable. It is essential to recognize and resist the presence of peer pressure in our humanity, in conformity of our society.
I hope I was able to prove all my arguments and statements. This is Swastika Das signing off.
So I hope I am able to prove all of my points and my statement. Thank you for watching. This is Ankita Ghosh signing off.